This is Tasemere with the Blackout live from New York. Super excited to be here with you guys today. We have a jam-packed day today. I'm so excited to jump into some topics that I think we are all kind of talking about at our kitchen tables. But first, I wanted to just give you guys some insight on exactly what this segment is about. And so this is me, Tasemere. I am from Brooklyn, but I live in the Bronx. I'm a New Yorker through and through. And so we're going to be exploring different topics and relating them really back to economics and how can we really, take some popular things that are happening in the news and just in life in general and trying to figure out how to, really, how can I say, create our own economic engine. And so I want to celebrate Black folks across the diaspora and have an open dialogue about Black economics, how to reimagine trends in business and explore the magic that we have. Today, it is important for us to talk about the impact of Bob Moses' death, right? He was a phenomenal man, participated in the civil rights movement. His contributions are endless to some of the freedoms that we have today. So I definitely wanted to talk about that. Wanted to talk about Simone Biles' withdrawal from the Olympics, Black women in footwear, and just microaggressions. I mean, the microaggressions part, I can't wait to jump into that because I was unaware that some of the things that we face here in the States is all that I can talk about is actually related to microaggressions. I didn't really get introduced to the term microaggressions until my best friend was studying microaggressions for her master's program, and I was like, "Oh, girl, that sounds interesting." But let's stay focused as I digress. Let's stay focused. Let's jump right into the civil rights activists. You guys know that I like to share my screen. I like to be very transparent with where my articles are coming from, my thought process, so we can just talk. So I'm going to share my screen now, so that way you guys can see what I am seeing. So you guys should theoretically be able to see civil rights activist Bob Moses dies at 86, right? And so some of us aren't even really sure who he is or what his relevance is. And so he was definitely a civil rights activist. And when we think about the civil rights movement, we usually think about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. Sometimes we might think about Medgar Evers. Sometimes we might think about Brown versus the Board of Education. But we also usually think about these sit-ins that were happening with young folks in college, right? And so how the heck did this happen, and who was at the forefront of really impacting this? And so this was really Bob Moses and SNCC. A lot of folks who grew up during this time period really understand the impact of SNCC. Sometimes that's lost on, earlier generations now. But SNCC basically was like a very dope organization that was really, I want to say, provocative in a way of like demanding to be in spaces in a way that put their bodies on the front line. And you really had to be very courageous in order to walk into a restaurant, walk into a movie theater, walk into any place where it said that you weren't supposed to be there and you weren't going to be able to be served, and really sit there and demand your space, right? That takes a really, really courageous person. Because of all of those courageous people that participated in SNCC, we are able to now have certain freedoms that we were not allowed to have before, and to make our voices heard. So this impact is like so phenomenal, so integral in everything that we do now. And he was just a pioneer, and I'm really, really appreciative of all the folks, no matter whether they really were participants in SNCC or if they were doing it in their own time and in their own spaces. But as a younger person, as a millennial, I think that we need to pay respect to the people